What's up? Oh no, Kelsey. Kelsey's not here. Oh my god. She had to go do something. Kelsey's not here on this sad Friday roundup. She had to go like destroy some kind of object or something, and I was like, I can't follow you down that path. I don't know. It was a whole thing. But anyway, I do have some Friday roundup stuff for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy. Just gonna be me talking to myself, talking to you guys. It's gonna be a good time. I do have some stories that Kelsey wanted you guys to know about. So, without delaying too much, here you go. Next Tuesday, March 17th, we actually do have a lot of good stuff coming out. There's some neat stuff. So, first, Paramount Pictures is putting out a 4K version of The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I don't know if any of you guys care about Western movies. It's a it's a John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart movie. It's a good movie, but Paramount is going through most of their back catalog, like to their old classics, and they're starting to put all of them in 4K. That has me super excited. So this is number 31 out of the ones that they've done so far. So, we have a lot of movies coming up. Then, for just another old movie, they've already released Beverly Hills Cop in 4K, but not 2 or 3. Now we got 2. I I don't know. We both feel the same way. Why not just wait till all 3 are out? Like what's the point in delaying them? Because the 4Ks exist. You you can go get them on like Vudu or any like streaming service where you can buy them. You can buy them in 4K now. They exist. It's just the physical version isn't out there for you to buy. So they're just like trickling them out one at a time. That's it just feels like such a cash grab. But then getting into our boutique label stuff, dude. Boutique stuff is still banging right now. There's some good stuff. So first, Shout Factory is releasing The Craft. I know tons of people love this movie. I think I've seen it once. It's a bomb movie. It's a good movie. So first time in 4K, it's gonna be awesome. Shout Factory always does the coolest editions of stuff coming out. So if you like The Craft, you're gonna want this one for sure. And then they're actually doing Escape from New York. So this has already been released on 4K in other countries, and it hasn't come out here, which is ridiculous. So Shout Factory's finally got the 4K. They're releasing it here. I like this movie. It's a good movie. I mean, they're good, like, you know, 80s goodness style stuff. If you love Escape from New York or Escape from LA, you know, there's actually this big, like, collector's pack that they're doing. So you get this giant box with, I think it's Kurt Russell. I think Kurt Russell's the guy. I always get him and Jeff Bridges mixed up. But I think it's Kurt Russell. You get this big thing with a big vinyl in it. We're all about the vinyls. You get the movie, then you get this little collectible enamel pin set. You get, Snake himself, Escape from New York. Like, you get New York on one, which it's, Twin Towers were still a thing then. That's kind of crazy. Looking at that pin. And then you get, like, the name of what Manhattan Island was turned into, where it's just a giant prison camp. So there's that. But there's another one with an even better vinyl. That vinyl's cool. It's white, got the little blue specks. Or you can get this one where it's like a blue vinyl and it's got the red and the black on there, so it hits all the colors of the cover and stuff. That's the cool one. Like, that's the one that you should get. I like that one. Not gonna get it, but so that's good. Shout Factory got a couple solid releases. But my favorite, it's Arrow Video. They're banging it out again, man. They have this movie coming out. It's called Girls Night Out. I think it was from 1981. I've never heard of this movie, never seen this movie, but I want this. First of all, they're awesome cover, which is great. But what's super neat is that this released theatrically under a different name. So you can either buy their like normal one that looks like this, or you can get it with the original cover and name, and it's called the Scare Maker, and that is the most gross, terrifying cover. I love it, but I love that artwork for that first one. Oh my god, that looks so good. But I just appreciate how they look back at these like cult classics and they really like dig deep. Like somebody that loves this movie knows it was called Scare Maker the first time, you know? So they released an edition like paying homage to, you know, the love for this movie. I just think that's fantastic. I love Arrow Video. They do just cool shit. Love them. And then neither of us saw this one, I don't think, but just releasing on plain Blu-ray, no 4Ks. Licorice Pizza. I still know nothing about this movie, but the style of this movie just makes me want to watch it. First of all, I love this cover. This is like another drawn artwork. It looks amazing. It comes with a poster of it, which is cool, and it's got a reversible sleeve where it like kind of cuts all the names off of it, and it makes it more just like a solo piece. So you get this thing on the right. That's like the reversible cover that you can just make on the outside. Like everything this movie does exudes a style that I think I would like. So I'm gonna have to check this movie out. And I think Kelsey has expressed interest in it too. So maybe we'll both check it out. We'll report back to you guys. But this release is amazing. I love this. There's no 4K though, which I find ridiculous that a lot of movies will come out on Blu-ray right now and they don't get a 4K. And there's a movie that just had a Blu-ray release. They just did it on 4K a year later, so a lot of physical media buyers are like, "Oh, you double dipped," and they're kind of upset by it. So I feel that this is probably going to get a 4K release, and that's dumb. Why not just do it now? But I don't release them. So then we have an awesome steelbook. The steelbook covers coming back in force yet again. I don't know if many of you have seen this movie, if you like this movie, but Hell or High Water was up for Best Picture the year that it came out. I love this movie. It is so good. It blew me away how good it was. I did not expect this movie to be that good. And looking at the cover and seeing that this is Jeff Bridges, I know for a fact Kurt Russell was Escape from New York now. It's got Chris Pine in it, and Chris Pine's always awesome. Love him. But look at this. It's another one where like underneath is the normal cover, but it's like a reflection of this guy's sunglasses. And then when you lift it up, you get the actual artwork. And this movie's good. This movie is so good. If you've never seen Hell or High Water, you have to watch this movie. It was so good. It was up for 4 Academy Awards the year that it came out. Won 0, which sucks. But it was very good. Love this movie. And if that's not your style, you don't want to buy anything, but you want to go see something new, today, May 13th. You ready? Like a Firestarter's coming out. A good old classic Stephen King movie and novel. It's actually from the producer that did The Invisible Man. And I love The Invisible Man. That movie was so good. The Invisible Man is phenomenal. So I'm excited for this one. And again, look at like the homage that's paid to what came before. Like, and yes, that is Drew Barrymore. This was one of her first movies of all time. It was the original Firestarter. So I love this like similar look. I mean, it's probably going to be the same movie, but maybe a little grittier, hopefully, because The Invisible Man was like, it was a little gritty. I mean, it wasn't like crazy, but I would love to see how Firestarter turns out. So I will definitely be seeing this one. And that is about it for movies. So I've got 3 very good game stories for you. Hope you guys like them. So first, NVIDIA getting into a little bit of trouble here. They were fined $5.5 million for inadequate disclosures regarding how many GPUs were sold to crypto miners. So, per a press release that was issued um, yesterday on the 12th, the SEC notes that during the 2018 fiscal year, NVIDIA failed to disclose that crypto mining was a significant element to their revenue growth. So they didn't really report that GPUs were being bought so heavily for crypto mining. So they have these like great financial numbers, and everyone's just like, oh, people like graphics cards. They didn't really say where the market was coming from. And they say that these disclosures deprived investors of critical information to evaluate the company's business in a key market, and that comes from Christina Littman, which is the Crypto Assets and Cyber Unit Head of SEC. So, yeah, like it's kind of like they were hiding where their numbers came from, and it kind of came out. You probably should have told us that. Now you're being fined $5 million. Holy shit! But it goes even further. Actually, what I found was more interesting was that when the 30 series came out and there was that big shortage, they actually reduced their hash rates on the GPUs, which I'm not really sure what that means. But they also released a line of CMP GPUs that were designed for crypto mining. So, like, they knew crypto miners were buying these, but didn't really tell their investors that was a big part of what was, like, driving up their revenue. Because I bet they would have gone in harder on getting crypto miners to buy more product from them. But NVIDIA's got a whole thing going on, so we'll have to see if that amounts to anything else for them. Also, Gotham Knights, which I'm so excited for. It was first revealed in 2020 with the new Batman game. It is following Arkham Knight. It does take place further in the story. It is no longer going to be released on PS4 and the Xbox One, so no more last gen consoles. I wanted to just have a little bit of the delightful gameplay playing for you guys because it looks phenomenal to me. I love it. Um, the developer said they just want to provide players with the best possible gameplay experience, so they are just focusing full on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and Steam, PC, and all that stuff. So they're just going as hard as they can on the game for like the new stuff, and I appreciate that because it doesn't limit you. You don't have to think about, all right, well, here's a gameplay idea we have, but we can't do it because the PS4 can't handle it. You know, like maybe a fast travel thing can't be done because it's too slow of a system, or well, we can't do this. AI can't run on it where enemies can react a certain way. So I appreciate that, but then that's also kind of a double-edged sword because as a developer, you want to sell it to the most people that you can. And if you're not going to sell it to the last gen consoles, I mean, PS5 alone had so many. There's so many people with a PS4. There's so many people with an Xbox One, and that's sales you're choosing to lose out on. So I am happy that this game's probably going to be the best that it can be without them having to worry about last gen stuff. But I feel bad because most people don't have the next gen consoles. PS5 still aren't really around. Xbox Ones are getting there, but people still don't really have a lot of them. So you're kind of, this game may be considered a failure because it doesn't sell well enough. So I want to see how it turns out. I think this game looks great. I love all the Batman games. This is going to release October 25th. I'm going to put my pre order in this weekend. I got to have this game. It's going to be great. And then one more very, very cool piece of gaming news. Actually, we have the Nintendo Switch. It has gotten its first significant price drop ever in the US. So the console right now is $260, $259.99, down $40 from its $299.99 price point of $300. It's actually not clear whether this is a permanent price drop or if it's just like a limited sale thing. They haven't really said. But in Europe, all the systems got a price drop around the same amount right before the OLED one came out, and it's still that price. So we could have just a cheaper Switch going forward, but that OLED does fill in that higher price point. So I don't think that will really impact their financials too much. $50 on a console, but if the hardcore people want the best, they'll buy the more expensive one. But this one, a little bit easier to get into hands and help it become the best selling console of all time. It's getting close. This thing sells too much. So that's about it. A little bit of a short one this week. Don't have my lovely co-host to bounce a lot of ideas off of with things that are going on out there. But hey, stuff happens sometimes. So can't wait to get Kelsey back in here next time. Next week, hopefully she's back. And hopefully we have some even better news for you. I've seen some of the stories we want to talk about next. There's some good stuff. So stay tuned till next week, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye.